In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to send emails manually from Monday.com, how to set up your email signature, pretty much everything else. By the way, if you'd like us to help you set up Monday.com for your business, check out the link in the description below. Anyway, as you can see here, I'm inside of my example Monday.com system. Now, caveat, before we get any further into this video, you need, in order to send and receive emails from Monday.com manually, Monday.com Sales CRM. I know. If you're trying to watch this video or if you're trying to send and receive emails from Monday.com Work Management, it's not going to be possible. You need to get Monday.com Sales CRM. Now, if you have both Work Management and Monday.com Sales CRM products, then you can, in fact, send from Monday.com Work Management. And I'll show you how to do that in this video. But if you only have Work Management, you cannot send and receive emails. It's as simple as that, unfortunately. So now we've got the bad news out of the way. Let's just walk through how to set up and send and or receive emails directly from Monday.com. So as you can see here, I have got this deal. This is myself here, or associated with this particular deal. Let's just put it in proposal sent. You can see that there is an email address associated with this particular record. Now, this can be set up however you kind of want to do it, whether it's leads, contacts, if it's something entirely different, that's absolutely fine. But if I wanted to email Nick Boardman from Monday.com, I don't want to have to go to Gmail or Outlook. All I need to do is press this speech bubble just on the left-hand side here, and I'll be presented with this pop-up screen, okay? Now, on this screen, I don't know what you are likely or unlikely to be seeing. So what you would need to do if you don't see this page here is go to the three dotted button, go to edit layout and content, and go to add widget, and you want to add your emails and activities function. So just select that as an option. You'll notice that these are identical. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete the original one. We've now got the new one. You can also dock this so it takes up the entire screen. It's entirely up to you. Or you can undock it and you can have other widgets and data points like a deal stage pipeline up here as well. Again, I've probably mentioned this in other videos, but needless to say, all you need to do is just make sure that you have this emails and activities widget added to the page here and just press done editing. So now I'm going to walk you through the different options that we have available. We can obviously add activities, and again, I've probably covered that in other videos, but more importantly, we can send and receive emails. So all I need to do is press new email, top left-hand corner here. And then if you haven't already logged in to an email account inside of your Monday.com system, in other words, associated your Outlook or your Gmail account with Monday.com, then you're going to get a pop-up screen in the bottom right-hand corner here. You need to just go through 2-factor authentication or 3 or 5-factor authentication, however many stages there are, and associate your email address with your Monday.com account. So just to be super clear, because some people do get confused, you're not creating a new email address or a new email account. You're just using the email address and the email account you already have, and then you're using Monday.com as a proxy to send those. So just like like another mailbox type setup, okay? In the same way that with Apple Mail, you sign into your Google account, okay? Or you sign into your Microsoft account. So once you've signed in and you've gone through authentication, you'll then be presented with this pop-up screen here when you press select new email. So you can see here, I can select from a few different accounts. My account needs reactivating for whatever reason, but it then will automatically populate the email address from the record that we've selected to send the email from. So you can see that nick@crmcrew.com has automatically populated because the actual record itself has that email, nick@crmcrew.com, okay? And then within the email, you can see here we can add a subject. So it's literally exactly the same as sending and receiving a normal email. So this is an example email. And then you can go ahead and insert data points from your board into the subject if you wanted to. Now, if you're manually sending this and this is a one-to-one email, then there's probably no point in doing that. But I will show you how to create templates in a moment, and this is where templates can become quite useful, or at least these kind of auto-populate fields from your board. Once you obviously have your subject written, is then a case of writing the body. So this is an example email body. I'm sure you're all very familiar with how to do this. You've probably done it 1,000,001 times now. So you're just going to go ahead and write in whatever you want to add here. Now, you will also notice you can attach files. You can add a bulleted list, bullet points, fancy. You can also, I don't know what this is, I suspect color and font. So you can change the color, bold, underline, italic, the font, standard options that I'm sure you're used to. And then you also have the AI assistant. So if you're like the many people out there that rely on ChatGPT or AI to write their emails, nothing wrong with that. Well, you say, I don't know. I think there might be some issues downstream from that, but irrespective, you can use AI assistant to help you write your emails to your prospects if you want to. Cool. So we've been through all of that. We then have a few additional options. We can select or unselect email tracking. Now, this is quite useful. It's not got a 100% success rate, but the idea being that if you have email tracking on, you will be able to see the number of times the person that's received the email has opened the email, clicked on links within the email, and so on and so forth. So Monday.com does a relatively good job of providing data back on how people are interacting with the emails that you've sent. Now, it doesn't work all the time. There are some businesses that obviously disable this sort of functionality, and for whatever other reasons, it doesn't work all the time as well. But it is a nice thing to have, especially if you're doing sales. You want to see, has this prospect opened my email like 20 times, 5 different locations? That might be a good sign that there's some traction, and you might want to drop them another email or maybe drop them a call as well if they've not opened your email or opened it once and then that's it. That also might be a telltale sign, but it also might not be. So you have the option available to you if you want to track your emails or how people are interacting with your emails. We then have columns. So this is exactly the same as the subject. So we can just automatically populate data from the board onto the email itself. Again, if this is a one-to-one private email, there's not a great deal that you need to do here, or there's not much value in it. Whereas if this was a templated email, which I'm going to show you in a moment, this would be quite helpful. So on to the next thing, how to create templates. So you see we have this template option. All we need to do is write in the subject and also the body of the email that is going to be the template, including the columns that we would like to populate from the board itself. So let's say the deal value, just as an example. And then on the templates, just press save draft as new template. I can call it example template. I mean, you can call it whatever you want. And then just select how this template can be used. So only you or everyone. In other words, do you want only yourself to have access to the email template, or anyone that's using Monday.com to send and receive emails will have the availability, the option to select this as a template that they can use. So that's entirely up to you. I'm just going to leave it as only me, stop confusion. And there we have it. We have the email template that is available for my use. Now, I can edit the template. I can also update the template. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is. I think that's kind of same thing, same. Update would be I've kind of updated what I've already written here, whereas edit, that's thrown me. Oh, I see. Edit, like the naming convention and the shared functionality. Okay, that's cool. And then you can also delete the template as well if you want to. So if I then close this, go to new email, and lo and behold, this is how a template works. You could just go ahead and select the template, and that's it, pretty much. Right? That's all there really is to it. And then once you are happy with your email, so if I go ahead, example template, populates the information, I can't send it because I need to connect or reconnect my email, but the idea being that you would hit send. I'm going to go ahead and just connect my email quickly. Now, the best way to do this would be, and this kind of brings me on to my next point, and I'm actually kind of glad that this isn't connected, is there are other factors that you're probably going to want to consider when sending and receiving emails from Monday.com. So there are 2 places you can do this. Either you can go to the cog on the emails and activities widget within this kind of setup here, or if you close this down, you can go to the cog in the top right-hand corner here. It's called CRM settings. So we have a few different options, right? We've got the accounts you own and share with templates across all workspaces on this account. So these are all of the accounts that you have. If I go ahead and I could remove an account, I could add a new account if I wanted to. Because I'm also an admin, I can see all of the account connections. Okay, so I can see all of the information available here. If I want to add a new account, you can see it's possible to do so. So let's say I add development at crmcrew.com. This is already logged in. Again, there seems to be a few issues with, well, not necessarily issues. I've just not set this up, as you can probably tell. And then from there, we have log outgoing emails from your Gmail or Outlook inbox. This is quite interesting. So often a client wants emails that are sent and or received in association with a particular contact record to automatically log against that contact. So as an example, right, let's take this deal here, Nick Boardman, nick@crmcrew.com. If I send him an email, I want that to log inside of Monday. But if he then responds, I also want that to log inside of monday.com. So that function there, that setting is quite important. If it's automatically log all my outgoing emails from Gmail/Outlook into emails and activities timeline, if that is selected, then in theory, that should work. So a response comes in from the email you sent, that then logs inside of the monday.com system in association with that particular record automatically. The reality of that is, frankly, it's not as consistent, or it works, but just not all the time. Just bear that in mind. Like, there have been instances that we've had with clients where it's not worked exactly how they wanted it to. So just be mindful of that. The alternative option is you can only log outgoing emails into emails and activities that are BCC to the address below. So if they respond, or you're sending an email from your Outlook account or your Gmail account, and you want only that email to go into monday.com, then you can CC in this email address into that email that will then send to monday.com. And in a hypothetical way, in a idealist, is it hypothetical? Ideal? I don't know. It's a Monday morning. In a world where everything is working perfectly, let's go with that, then it should log against the record, the contact record, or the deal, or whatever the case may be. Again, it's not perfect, so just bear that in mind. Now, some people do prefer this option because emails that they don't want the wider team to see have ended up in email and activity timelines because they had automatically log all my outgoing emails. Which, I mean, is, we've seen it a couple of times where it's caused a few issues, not major issues, just, you wouldn't want, some people don't want their email inbox shared, which is totally acceptable. So bear in mind what options you select here. So now I've rambled on about that. The next thing that you want to look at is email signature. So you've got two options, either simple or you've got HTML. So if your email signature is HTML, you can select HTML. If it's simple, it's simple. Obviously, because you're sending from monday.com, not your normal Gmail or Outlook, I don't think it's going to work. Your email signature is unlikely to work unless your templates are managed, or your templates or your email signatures are managed by the server, not locally. Slightly confusing. 9 times out of 10, unless you're a large organization, it's going to be, you need to put in your email signature, but there might be a chance that you don't. So it's up to you. Just test that out. Again, simple, HTML. Hopefully that makes sense. And then just make sure you press save. And also you can add columns in from the board if you want to your email signature. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know. And then with these options, you're just selecting when you choose to use the email signature. So when composing a new email, when replying to an email, again, you'll probably be quite familiar with this stuff. You would have had to do it when you're setting up your Gmail or Outlook anyway. Then we have remove monday.com branding from your emails. Okay, so this essentially means, or by default, every single email that you send from monday.com will have a sent from monday.com sales CRM fancy little branding at the bottom. And you're going to want to turn this off. It just looks terrible. So you can go ahead. It will look like this, unselected, remove branding, remove monday.com branding from your emails is off. I think this kind of play on words, and it is a Monday, so I'm slightly slow, but I think you want to turn that on, and then the email branding will not appear. And then finally, you've got never log, which is any email address that you are receiving from. As you can see, email sent or received from the addresses and domains defined below will never be saved to your CRM, even if they exist as contacts in your board. Add email addresses or domains to the never log list. Pretty straightforward. If there's someone that you don't want their emails to end up in monday.com, you can go ahead and add those email addresses and or domains here, and they should not, hypothetically, end up inside of the emails and activities function within monday.com. Again, how much you choose to trust this is entirely up to you. So now you've messed around with your email settings, you should be good to go. You can come in here, new email, I'm going to reconnect my account now. So I've just got that prompt, press connect. Apologies, viewers. I managed to completely break my Google Chrome when trying to log into my email address there. I'm going to leave it. The idea being that once you're on emails and activities, press new email, write your email. You can then go ahead and press the send button. It should send automatically. I think that's a relatively simple part of all of this. So if you've also then got Monday.com Sales CRM and Work Management, I'm just going to walk you through how to send and receive emails from Work Management as well. So we need to go and switch to our Work Management product. And I'm on my example board here, as you can see. So all you would need to do is press the plus button again. So same principle applies, but in this case, you will have this pop-up window on the right-hand side. So it is slightly different to your Monday Sales CRM setup, but then all you need to do is just press the plus button, and you will notice here you've got emails and activities. You will also notice it's pulled from Monday Sales CRM. So press the three dotted button, dock this widget, and then you should be able to send and receive emails via Monday.com Sales CRM from Monday.com Work Management. So again, it is possible. It does look slightly different. The functionality kind of hit and miss a little bit, but you know, it's there available to you if you want to use it. So that's pretty much everything you need to know about sending emails from Monday.com Sales CRM. I would encourage you to test it, encourage you to test the kind of the response, the information flowing back into the system. Make sure you've got your email account set up. By the way, one thing I have actually failed to notice, I'm not failed to notice, I failed to mention. If you do not have either a Google account, a Gmail account, or an Outlook account, you cannot send and receive emails from Monday.com. You cannot associate your email address to Monday.com. So you must have either Outlook or Gmail. Otherwise, none of this is possible at all whatsoever. Categorically, there's nothing you can do. As a heads up. Should have mentioned that maybe slightly earlier in the video if you're using like Zoho Mail as an example or some other provider. But if you go to add a new account, you will find that there are only two options. At least I'm pretty sure there are. So cog, and let's go add account. We've got Gmail, Outlook, nothing else, no other options. Just bear that in mind. Anyway, hopefully this video has been helpful, giving you an insight in how to send emails, the setup of all of the emails within Monday.com Sales CRM and Work Management-ish. If you would like us to help you set up Monday.com for your business, check out the link in the description below. We would love to help. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope this has been somewhat useful. Thank you for your time. If you need help, check out the link in the description below, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.